Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is Larry Lou, your host, T3, Transformation Through Truth, where we come to heal and where we come to be better today than we were yesterday. I need to get something off of my chest that's been on my mind, and it's really meant for, if you've been listening, you know, that 18 to 25 years of age where you're young and dumb and you don't know what you think you know. That period is a very transitional time in that age group's life, right? That's a transitional period. That transitional period can make you or break you. And some things have come to my attention, and I really wanted to address some of the pitfalls, if you will, during that time, especially for young men. So what I'm referring to is that there has been a disservice done to our younger generation by us old heads, particularly the mothers. And I'm not trying to come down on the mothers, because the mothers are doing what comes to them naturally. But because so many homes are divided, whether it's a two-parent household or not, there are a lot of things that are being said, taught. There are a lot of things that are being stated and communicated to our younger generation that is just not true. And more importantly, there is things being seen and behaviors that they are seeing by us that is communicating a message. What I want to tell these 18 to 25-year-olds, and again, it can be for anybody, but especially this age group, is that I cannot stress this enough. Pain is a part of life. It's not a matter of if you're going to feel pain, if you're going to be disappointed, if you're going to feel like a failure from time to time, if you're going to feel shame from time to time. It's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. I can't stress that enough. So when these things happen, the more prepared you are, the better you are at handling your emotions when they start to go disarray. So to backtrack a little bit, one of the issues is that we have given this younger generation any and everything that they want, if possible, when they haven't earned or deserve it. But more importantly, they haven't earned it. And the reason that is so important is because the real world doesn't work off of a person feeling entitled, which is what we have created, a generation of entitled people who believe that they are supposed to live this great life, have everything fall into their lap, regardless of what they do. Now, there are a lot of young people who are doing the right thing, working, paying their bills, trying to make a living, trying to have a good life. A lot of them are displaying behaviors and characteristics that are very becoming. So not all of them are just out here doing things that is unbecoming. I'll just put it like that. For the ones that are doing what they're supposed to do, I understand that you feel like, well, I did this, I did that, I'm doing things the right way, and things are not going according to my plan. And so you feel a certain kind of way. Guess what? This is everybody. This is life. You're not being picked on. You're not being signaled out. You're not. This is how the world works. You can do everything right, but it just might be your time. Time to grow. Time to overcome. Because although on the outside, you may be doing things that you are supposed to do as a good citizen, as a good parent, as a good daughter, son, good friend. But there are some things inside of you that you might not be aware of that needs to be corrected. And that's just not you. That goes for us all, because none of us are perfect. We all need to grow. But you don't grow in comfort. Comfort doesn't allow you to grow. Comfort keeps you stagnant. It keeps you where you're at. You feel good. You don't feel that there's no reason to do anything differently. So when those times come, it's not to punish you. It comes out of love for you to be better and become greater than what you really are. You don't become greater or better. You don't evolve in comfort. Now, I said, you're not being picked on. You're going to go through some things. And you're not going to understand it because you don't have the experience to connect the dots to what your parents, some old head teacher, whoever that might be trying to help you. It's not going to make total sense to you. So the best thing you can do is to just follow the instructions. The best thing you can do is just listen and do what you told, even though you don't understand it. I know it's hard, but at your age, that is the only and best thing that you should do. Now, let's talk about us old heads. We go through the same thing because no one has come to a point where they don't need to grow. Sometimes we don't listen. Y'all see this. Somebody preaching something to you or saying something to you, your parents or your uncle, whoever, they saying one thing, but they living another. Yeah, this happens. This is life. But that doesn't negate what it is that they telling you. It would just be more beneficial for you to comply, to do what they say, because it's going to save you a lot of pain and heartache. You can't escape it all. You can't escape it all, but you can navigate the terrain to where it is more beneficial to you and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Let me give you an example. One thing that a lot of you young men, and it's not all, but I seen this in the high school, which is a lot different than when I was coming up. You all are happy to have a girlfriend. You all are ecstatic. Where in my time, and I'm not saying it was right, it's just it's two extremes. Where you all are happy to have a girlfriend and giving her your location and letting her go through your phone and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong. This is just what is. When I was coming up, we did the total opposite. Okay, and again, they're both extremes, so I'm not saying either of them is right. But you all are just happy to get a girlfriend. And you want to hang on to her for dear life. There's nothing wrong with relationships. But you're not emotionally equipped to handle a relationship like that. Because when you play adult games, you got to abide by adult rules. So you want to play husband and wife because you don't want nobody else to have her, and you don't want nobody else talking to her. You don't want nobody else looking at her and all this. Okay. Because you so emotionally wrapped up in this one woman. You have to be willing to play by adult rules. I'm not saying that every woman cheats, but some do. No different than us men. Media always want to talk about men cheating, and let's just be honest, black men are notorious for it. Not saying that the other ethnicities are not. But the research that I've read and that I've studied is that we do it more. We are a lot reckless with it, unfortunately. But that does not take away from the fact that women do it, they're just a lot more slick at it. Nah, you worried about that. You can't be. You can't stop her. You can't control her. If she is going to step out on you, she's going to do that because you can't be with her 24 hours a day. So if her mind is made up to do that, she's going to do it. I was talking to a woman at the high school. And this woman told me just about all her female friends cheat and they married. They need to ask no names. I don't need to know all that. But I was kind of shocked. And she was a white woman. Good friend, just talking. So everybody's gonna fall short at one time or another. We all fall short somewhere. So you all are so, young men, you all are so adamant about having a relationship, and then when it doesn't go the way that you wanted to go because you seen some text in her phone from another guy and all this kind of stuff, you can't handle it. You can't handle it because you're trying to be something that you're not ready for. You're trying to be a husband. You're not ready to be a husband. You're not ready for that. And quite frankly, some people who are husbands and old heads ain't ready to be a husband. But that's another story. We talking about you all. Again, just because you see people doing stuff that they not supposed to do does not negate what it is that they're telling you if it's right. So again, you're not going to be able to put experience to what it is that they're saying. So for you, it's abstract, meaning it's not very clear. It's not very understandable. That's okay. Just listen. You will save yourself a bunch of heartache. You will save yourself a bunch of hurt, a bunch of pain, a bunch of suffering. If you just listen. Young man I know can't find work anymore because of the tariffs. Whatever's going on with the tariffs, the job had to lay some people off or whatever because he works for companies that work with other countries, okay, outside the United States. So it has disrupted the job market. I don't know by how much. That's not my wheelhouse. But going off of what this young man is telling me, he has a high skill set, but he can't find a job. He was used to a bunch of money, and now he doesn't have any. So what does he want to do? He doesn't want to live anymore. He doesn't want to be on this earth anymore. Now, to y'all young men, I need y'all to really, really hear me. There will come a time where your manhood will be challenged. And the only two options you have is to bow down or to fight. Only two options you have. Bow down or fight. Nobody's coming to save you. Now, some of y'all have your parents that may step in. A few of y'all. They're not helping you all. They're not helping you grow, but it does happen. Well, come on home, baby. I'll take care of you. They're not doing you any justice. They're not helping you. They're not making you stronger. They continue to keep you weak when they do that. If you want to be a man, and that challenge or a challenge comes your way, this is the time to prove it. Not all this talk about what you would do and what you gon' do and what you woulda did and if it wasn't for this. It ain't no time for that. Ain't no time for that. Because in the real world, if you don't fight, you gonna fall. And if you don't get up, you gonna stay there. That's the real world. That entitlement is contrary to that. You think somebody is supposed to not let you fall, and if you do fall, supposed to pick you up. If you got some support, may help you up, help you get up, but you got to help yourself first. You got to help yourself first. You got to show some type of fight, because eventually, even if you do have a little bit of help, if you're not fighting at all, ain't nobody else gonna fight for you. It is very important that you understand that life is not against you. The world is not against you. Are there things wrong with the world? Oh, yes. We know this to be true. But you're not going to change the world. The world has burned people up, hung people, put them in concentration camps, and a number of other things that the world has done. The world is going to be the world. The question is, how are you going to react to it? Don't talk about strength, which is what you've been doing up until this point. And then when it's time to show strength, you buckle. All that's saying is that you never really were strong in the first place. Now that might hurt you, but it's the truth. As men, we don't like to feel shame. I want women to hear this too, because you all can say things that can make us feel a lot of shame. Because one thing that we try to do is impress you. We try to look good in your eyes. So it's very important for us that you all respect us and you all see us in a certain light. And if we feel you don't see us in that light, we feel shame. Now, shame is not something that men talk about, but we feel it. And one of the biggest problems, if not the biggest problem I'm seeing right now, with the younger generation especially, when you go through hard times, you start feeling ashamed. Social media definitely don't help, because social media is all about fluff, and they think that they make you think every problem you have, if you even should have a problem, is solved in 10, 15 minutes. They show you the pain, and then 10 minutes later, they're on top of the world. That's not realistic. That's not realistic. So when you start to feel this shame because of life just lifing, one thing we tend to do, especially if we are trying and things are not working out, now we get in our head that, you know what, if I just don't even try, it'd be better off. Because every time you may try something and it doesn't work, every time you get rejected, you feel humiliated. You start to feel more and more shame. So you don't go after that job. You sit and say, well, I'm just going to smoke weed all day. All you're trying to do is hide or bury pain. And you may bury it for a minute, but guess what? As soon as you come off that high, the problem still exists. So it's a temporary fix. So what a lot of y'all do is just keep smoking weed all day just to try to deaden the pain. And you do this over and over and over again, every single day. What is your life? What is your life? The best thing you can do is listen. Do what people who've been where you are telling you. They're not telling you to hurt you. They're telling you to help you. Some of them telling you to save you. Because we know suicide is high. People feel like they can't handle it, don't want to be here, and they take their own life. No one's trying to have that happen to you. There are people that love you, people that care about you. Don't let something that is normal for everybody take you out of here. You're not being punished because you're a bad person, because you're not good enough. You're good enough, but it's just your time. We all have our time. And it's not for evil. It's for your benefit. The first time I ever read the book of Job in the Bible, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. The man 1 minute was on top, and then in the blinking of an eye, he had his house burned up, or kids and people dying, and all his money gone within seconds. I read this and I honestly was like, how the man survived? And as I kept reading, I can relate and see how we are all in the same boat. That you're not the first to think that you shouldn't be on this earth. Job said, I should have been carried from the womb to the tomb. If life was gonna be like this. And had all these questions. We all do it. Self-loathing. We've all been there. But when God finally spoke, the first thing God said was, who is this that's speaking words without knowledge? We don't know. You don't know. I really feel that's why God, when he say, give his commandments or do this or do that, just want you to do them. You got to trust in them. We got to do the same thing as adults. There's a lot of love out there for you, whether you believe it or not. Some more than others, unfortunately. But if nobody is loving you, love yourself and prove everybody wrong. Even your ego. Larry Lou, elevation is in order.